All right. Hello, this is Leo Brady with AMovieGuy.com.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Asa, thanks for being with me here today.
No worries.
Yeah, this is great. So, the first question I typically ask when I start my interview series, and for you, you've been doing this since you were a kid. So, I wonder what your answer will be. But for you, what's a movie that comes to mind that made you say, yeah, I want to do this. I want to keep acting. I want to make movies like that?
Hmm. Um, Good question. I think it was less a movie I watched, it's more an experience I had on set. For me. I've been acting since I was 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Um, but it wasn't until I was 13 years old on the set of Hugo where I really fell in love with filmmaking and acting as well, but filmmaking, cinema, and all of the technical elements that go into making a movie. I've done films before and I'd enjoyed it and I liked what I did, but I don't think I ever really anticipated being an actor as an adult.
Yeah.
It's just something I did for fun. Um, when you're 10 years old, I don't think you really understand acting. It's just make believe. And that's what it should be. You don't want to be thinking about it too much when you're a kid.
Yeah.
And as you get older, and you start thinking about it more and more, and you start thinking about the process behind it and the thoughts behind it.
Yeah.
And it was being on that set, being directed by Scorsese and having such an amazing team around me where I was like, oh wow, I don't want to stop doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. I mean, well, and it's interesting too. You've been directed by a like great collection of directors, and one of them particularly Tim Burton, which feels like a director that's perfect to have worked with before working on this film, Stitchhead. Did you sort of feel like you had a little bit of training from working on Miss Peregrine before you got to work on Stitchhead?
Um, I mean, working on animated movies is so vastly different from anything I've done before.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure there's any about of training that I could have done to sort of prepare me for this kind of thing, for being limited to just using your voice and nothing else.
Yeah.
And having those constraints forces you to kind of think outside the box and think of new ways to try and show what you're feeling and then give a thought and an idea through just sound was a challenge and something that I really I really admire voice actors for their ability to not just do that, but do that with such a range of voices and character. They can do so much and tell so much about the character with just a few words in a voice. The
Yeah.
way they talk, the accent, the intonation, the stutters, the slight, whatever it is. It's such a credible skill. And I feel like I'm just starting to learn about that
Yeah.
and then see if I can take that into my acting on camera.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I was honestly kind of shocked to see that this was like one of the first few animated films that you'd been a part of. So when preparing to take on the role, was the relationship with Steve Hudson and Toby Genkel kind of really key to preparing yourself to be the character of Stitchhead? I mean, it's like it's all your voice, it's all you, but obviously they like sort of give you ideas and images to work off of so that you could bring that all to life.
Um, there was a big conversation before we started about the character and the voice. Until you kind of stop doing it, it's you sort of got to feel it and do it and feel it out to know what works. And so the first session we had in the studio, we spent a lot of that time just trying different voices out, and I think we both had a pretty good idea of what we wanted them to sound like, but we found a kind of a happy medium where we both felt his voice would sit. And whereas it was this combination of this kind of softness and this uncertainty
Yeah.
as a vocal quality because he's this kid who's never been given any validation, never been told he's doing good. He's never really been told anything.
Yeah.
And so he's constantly unsure of himself. And on top of that, he's literally been stitched together. So we wanted this kind of cracked and slightly broken quality to his voice as well. And so we found a sort of meeting point for those two things, and that's where we started.
Awesome. All right. Well, they're telling me to wrap. Asa Butterfield, thank you so much for talking with me today. Stitchhead
Thanks,
is
Leah.
in theaters October 29th. Congratulations. Thanks again.
Take care. See ya.